so, but it's okay. Yeah, all set. Hello viewers, welcome to our program on Immigration and You. I am your immigration attorney Michael Fulvani, and once again we are with us my partner David Nachman.
Thanks so much, Michael.
David,
always
welcome.
a pleasure. Thank you. Glad to be
again,
here.
as usual, we have been talking about IIFA. I think we will give some information to our viewers again. Those you know what IIFA is, we explained in the
it's very exciting
last program. Very exciting.
As
yes,
as the end of April draws near, we're getting very excited about all our friends coming over from India.
Yeah, you're going to see lots and lots of big actors. Saif Ali is going to be there, Khan, and maybe Priyanka Chopra is going to be there, and many more. We don't remember. It's a large. Anil Kapoor is going to be there. So all these actors will be coming there. And it's a big program. There'll be an excellent show also. The performance, as you might have seen, while the awards are going on, in between there are performances. So it's a very interesting program, also being the first time coming to the United States in Tampa, Florida, in end of April. And we suggest that you can go online and David can give some more information on how to buy the tickets.
Yeah, if anyone is interested, of course, in attending IIFA at the end of April in Tampa, we suggest that you go online to Ticketmaster. Again, I'm not promoting Ticketmaster. That's just one way you can get the tickets. And or if you have any questions about how to get tickets, you can feel free to send us an email. Michael to myself. You can see the I think on the screen is the email address. Send us an email, and we'll be more than happy to provide that information to you. I know that the stars are wondering who's going to get the award, so they're very excited about it, and we are too. And it's really a wonderful thing that we were able to have this event in the United States. I know that Michael and I are very excited about it, and the consular officials in India were very excited about it. When Michael and I were traveling in India, we visited the U.S. consulates and spoke to the consular officers about the event and made sure that everything is moving nice and smoothly for all our friends to come over and to be able to accept the awards.
And I have no hesitation to promote IIFA because we are working with them, working for them. So please, if you have any interest, buy the tickets as soon as possible. They're selling very, very quickly.
Well, since you have no problem promoting IIFA, I just want to put a quick plug in for, actually, IIFA is run by Wizcraft.
Yes.
And Wizcraft does a phenomenal, if you're ever in New Delhi, there is a phenomenal show called Kingdom of Dreams, which is just north of New Delhi.
Exactly.
I think it's in Noida.
It's Gurgaon,
Noida, and it is a phenomenal evening, and it's run by the organization that's putting on IIFA. And if anyone is in New Delhi who is watching our show, I highly recommend an evening there. It's just a phenomenal. It's great fun. Great fun.
And we both watched when we were in India last
right.
time. It's wonderful, fantastic, mind-boggling. They have so many different restaurants coming from each state. And where did we eat? I think one of the restaurants from, I think, Hyderabad, that area.
Exactly.
So
and you have a choice. There are restaurants from every single
excellent
area in India.
And the best kulfi that I ever had in my life, I tell you.
It's phenomenal. And what's amazing, I think, is that you're inside and you look up and it's almost like you're outside. Exactly. You're outdoors.
Like a tree.
So they really did just an incredible job there. So I wanted to put that plug in because, again, Wizcraft is associated with IIFA, so they deserve kudos on both sides.
Absolutely. So, okay, let's go back to the H-1 topic.
Sure.
Now, last time we did announce about the filing date. I want you to just tell clearly to our viewers how they should be in readiness to file the H-1 petition on March 31st. Then I'll talk about some more things.
Okay, great. Well, actually, March 31st is significant for several reasons. The first one is, of course, I just want to mention to anyone who had filed in the past a DOMA case. DOMA was the Defense Against Marriage Act. If you filed a same-sex marriage case in the past and it was denied, March 31st is going to be the deadline for you to reopen those cases. So that's the first reason why March 31st is important. The second reason why March 31st is important is because we're going to be sending H-1Bs out of our office on March 31st with the intention of filing them, of course, on April 1st for an October 1st start date. And that's a critical deadline for anyone who's interested in the H-1B. So we're getting a lot of calls from individuals who are right now in OPT, students who have OPT, optional practical training. That means, the 1 full year of work that you're entitled to after your F1 status. And the idea would be to try to file the H-1B prior to the time your work authorization expires, because then, of course, by operation of law, you'll be able to continue your work authorization to October 1st, assuming that that H-1B is approved. And Michael, I think that that begs a really important question, which we have to tell our viewers, and that is the big question, the $1,225 question is, do you premium process or do you not premium process the case?
I would recommend do the premium processing, because you get a decision within 2 weeks or 3 weeks at the most. And it's to some people it is very important. Some people will say, why should I spend $1,225 when I cannot start working before October 1st? And by then the approval will come or not come. So that's one important reason, because we have peace of mind.
Right.
2-3 weeks you got approved, you can make your plans.
Exactly.
And about whatever marriage is there. Sometimes people want to get married also. They buy a house or settle down with more comfort. And the other reason, which I don't know whether it is true or not, or to what extent does it help in getting the cap benefit.
Okay,
David
that's what I want. That's where I was going.
I don't know that. But David might have some. The law doesn't say anything. Listen, another law, regulations.
That's great.
There's nothing which says that a preference will be given to those people who apply on a premium processing.
Right.
But as a practical matter, David might have some experience that those cases probably go faster.
Well, actually, Michael, that is a great point. You know, that's how I can tell we've been working for a long time together, because there's telepathy going on. So I kind of feel like you were reading my mind. You knew exactly what I was going to say. And I think it's a bit of a common sense approach, Michael. I mean, if you're the USCIS and you have 180,000 applications, which is what happened in 2008, for 65,000 spots, and you have a certain number of them are submitting $1,225 additional dollars to process the case, that these are considered in the lottery, what are you going to do? Are you going to take the cases that are $1,225, or are you going to take the ones that are not? So I'm not saying, because I don't think it would be appropriate at this point to say that that is going to make or break the case. But what I can say, because I can only deal with statistics, and that is the statistics that we see in our office, and in other offices from talking to my colleagues, is that they have found that premium processing does help. So if you have a question in your mind as to whether or not to premium process the case, we would probably advise, if you can afford the premium processing fee, err on the side of premium processing your case for the October 1st start date.
Irrespective of whether or not that helps in getting the cap.
Exactly.
It's a good idea, because even if it doesn't happen, so you know right away, okay, this case come back, I'm not getting it. The premium processing.
That's right. Well, if the case is not considered under the lottery, they're going to send it back. So they'll send your premium processing check back too.
That's correct. So therefore, and your money is back also.
Exactly.
That money doesn't go away if it doesn't make it.
That's right.
And then you know that what are the other options then? You know this didn't go through in this year, H-1B. So what should I do next? That's one good reason for premium processing. The other thing, very, very important, that I would like to say is H-1B's importance is coming from the dual intent.
Yes,
there are
important.
There are a lot of categories, like person applies for a visitor visa, a student visa. The American consul will deny it if he has got any evidence, or if he has got any understanding, or if his determination this person is not likely to come back or has an immigrant intent. They deny. And people ask this question all the time. I have been denied 3 times the visitor visa. Can I still apply for a H-1B? Of course, yes. Person asks a question. I am married to a green card holder and my case is already pending. Can I get an H-1B visa? Yes. A person's son or daughter, he has filed a petition for them, and it's a long waiting. So he says, in the meantime, my son has got a college degree and we have an employer. Can he come on H-1? Yes, irrespective of the immigrant intent or the plans. Person can openly say to the consul, yes, I probably will settle down. My wife is already a green card holder. No problem.
Right.
So this is a very, very important factor, what we recommend.
Critical. Actually, Michael, I'm really glad that you raised that, because this past week, actually, I've been traveling around in Pennsylvania speaking to various academic institutions and speaking to students who have questions about dual intent and how it works, and they didn't really understand it. But I think the easiest way to explain it is this. There are some non-immigrant visas that are not dual intent. For example, the B. The visitor's visa is not a dual intent visa. It's pure non-immigrant intent. And that's why when the case is denied at the U.S. consulate abroad, you get that 214B sheet, which denies the case because you haven't demonstrated ties to your home country.
And don't ask why. The American consul is saying nothing. That's it. I don't believe
That's right, 214B, that's it.
Gone.
Exactly. And it's the same for F. F is a pure non-immigrant intent visa. The power of the H-1B is that it's dual intent. It means that you can intend to stay in the United States and intend to go home at the same time. And once you have H-1B status, and this doesn't mean once you apply for the H-1B, it means once you have H-1B, which means that the H-1B takes effect, even though you apply on April 1st, it takes effect on October 1st. So once you have that H-1B status on October 1st, then it is safe to manifest an intent to immigrate to the United States. How is that intent manifested? Well, number one, you can file for an I-130 if you have a family member who's able to do that for you, or two, you can file for the green card. Now, many employers won't let you do it immediately. Some employers will require that you work for them for a period of time, but for the most part, that's when it's safe to manifest that intent to immigrate to the United States.
No, that doesn't mean that because they have a dual intent that the American cannot deny the H-1B applicant. He cannot deny on that 214B. He cannot deny for that reason. But sometimes there are other reasons. For example, if a person came on a visitor visa and then he changed the status to H-1. Now if he has to travel, he needs to go back to the American consul to get a visa stamp on the passport. The American consul looks at other issues also. When he came to us and applied for a visitor visa, was he really planning to go for H-1 or stay, or like somebody even resigned from the job, resigned from the job in India, or there's an evidence that very clearly he had already started the process of an H-1B coming before. So there may be some question, or there may be some fraud or misrepresentation in any of the previous application. He was single, he said married, or he was married, he said single. There may be other issues relating to the employer also, even if the petition is approved by the Immigration Service.
Right.
The American consuls would look into the issues relating to the employer.
Of course.
But I think this is some subject that we can.
Well, we're going to cover this later on with regard to audits, but we know. And
let's talk about now the filing. Okay. Now the person wants, I would say that two things are very important. Person needs to talk to the employer.
Absolutely.
You cannot file H-1 petition. People say, oh, I want to file an H-1B.
It's an employer-specific case, right?
Correct. So you need an employer who's willing to give you a job offer, who's willing to file an H-1B petition, who's willing to pay all the fees himself of the government and all that.
Exactly.
So those are the things, and that education and experience that is, if required for equivalency, is related to the field we said in earlier program. So this is what we need, and we need to keep your documents ready, your degrees, your transcript, your papers, in case we need to get an equivalency done. You should have the experience letters from which we are getting the juice to equivalency. So there's a lot, work has to be done, preparation has to be done, and we don't have much time left. When you're watching the program, you're probably already reaching the
now is the time to react.
Another week or so.
Yeah, now is the time to react.
Maybe still may be time. We are not saying no that you cannot do now. You can still make it.
If you haven't talked to your employer about the H-1B, now is the time to do it.
Because we were talking about an LCA also, because one of the things is required. People ask all the question, how much salary? How much salary has to offer? My employer doesn't want to give me more than 40. Is it okay? And David will tell you more about the LCA and all that. But one of the things that is possible, which some people do not know, that there is also a part-time H-1Bs, because I have said, you ask your employer whether he needs a full-time or a part-time. And the employer says part-time is fine with me. So obviously, if the salary for 35 hours is 60,000, for the 20 hours it's going to be 40,000 or 45,000. Employer may decide, say, okay, I'm happy with the part-time, and then that salary is based upon the part-time employment. So these are some of the issues that some people don't realize, some people don't understand, that are very, very important. Now, what about LCA? What is the importance of LCA before you file the petition?
Well, I think we're running out of time, Michael, but just very quickly, we talked about the LCA on one of our last videos, but I just wanted to point out that it is the precursor application to the H-1B, and it's basically an attestation by the employers that they're not displacing any U.S. workers.
Well, David, as usual, we are running out of the time. And we thank you very much for being on the program. And we thank you all so much for watching the program. Please keep watching us every Saturday and Sunday on ITV and Vision of Asia. Thank you.